How's it going, man?
You're ready because you're an athlete, dude. So you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good to go.
I got my cheat sheet, but I don't care. It's a little not pro, but I don't.
Hey, we both
I don't,
worked.
I don't want to miss
We
anything.
both worked all day, dude. We
Okay.
both got here right now.
All right. All right. Hello. Thanks for tuning in to the Racer's Edge Entertainment Network. Today I've got Pasha from Pasha Racing. I want to chat with them a little bit. Want to talk about just right off the bat. I mean, we're going to get into your series. We're going to get into the race. But I get asked 3 questions all the time.
What is that?
And number one is, what do you do for work? I mean, I've heard a lot of things.
What have you heard, man? What did you hear, dude?
I just want to know, like,
What did you hear?
What do you? I mean, I've heard all kinds of things.
Okay, so legitimately, people don't believe it sometimes, but legitimately, my daily, everyday 9 to 5 is I own a construction company.
Okay.
So I'm in construction. So I do remodeling, houses.
Right.
Build and remodel houses.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what I do. That's my real job. I've been a licensed contractor here in California for 27 going on 28 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
so
then-
I'm a general contractor.
Okay. And then you have the movie component.
Movie component is what happened. Make a long story short is I was chasing a movie dream from the beginning, and then actually I was in the car business. I used to buy and sell hot rods and build like muscle cars and stuff like that.
So that's where the building started.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what happened. It's funny because motocross changed my life. So it was early to mid 90s, okay? And I had bought a dirt bike and I was starting to go to LACR. So there was a couple of guys there that were Israeli dudes, and they still all ride. And I was buying and selling cars and doing movies. I was a stuntman, as you know, you guys all know. I was a stuntman, and I was doing films and a little bit of acting and a lot of stunts and buying and selling cars. I was young and surviving.
Right.
A couple of these Israeli dirt bike riders, they were in the construction. And I was checking them out, driving brand new cars, brand new bikes. I'm like, wow, what did these dudes do?
Well, at this time, like, what was your bike?
Yeah,
Like,
my
just
bike was a
something basic.
WR 250
At the track.
at the track,
Love
and it probably weighed 300 pounds.
Headlight.
Because I didn't know, dude.
Yeah.
And there were
Love
people that remember those days, like Eric Casas and Rich Trushinsky, and remember back in the day with Eric when he was like
Yeah.
alive and kicking.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's at now, but
Yeah, but he was
yeah.
one of the first guys to like just take a bike from like bought it on Craigslist and just make the thing
make
mint.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Always, and they meant something. Dan.
Yeah,
Like
so
every
it
model they
was
did,
the 4 amigos. It was me, Eric Casas, Rich Trushinsky, and Dave Antillion. And we were the 4 amigos, and we would like go race Mexico, and I was definitely the slowest guy, and I was like a beginner, and they were like all pros.
That's awesome. Though.
Yeah.
That's killer.
So
they had a background. They were at Dunes.
Oh,
they were
yeah.
at this, but you
Oh,
met
yeah.
them like later on.
way later. I met
Wow.
them in '95
Wow.
at LA County Raceway. And the first race I ever raced at LA County Raceway was unfortunately Dunestown Series.
Okay.
Right after Jeff Barber-Kobe had died.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So there was a dull cloud over LA County,
Yeah,
and
that was
I had never met Jeff, and I'm like, why is everybody like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I started racing. I was riding before, but that's when I was taking LA County, started racing, and then the Israeli guys. Back to the story. We became friends, and me being Middle Eastern, so I clicked with it because they'd never seen anybody else racing as a Middle Eastern dude.
Right,
So they
right,
became quick, like magnet to me, and then we became quick friends. And what do you do? I said I buy and sell cars, like Chevelles and Camaros and shit. And they go, why don't you sell construction? And I'm like, what is that, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what that is.
Not to interrupt, but I have heard, right? They say sell big things,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
That's
It's your
the way to
vehicle.
do it,
I call
right?
it the vehicle.
Yeah, sell
If you're
big
going to
things.
sell a car and make $1,000, well, you can sell a home improvement job, remodel, and make 20,000
Or a plane.
or 100.
Whatever
Yeah,
it is, right?
yeah, exactly.
That's
So is that all right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. So the guy said, I don't know anything about construction. He goes, listen, we have a school downtown LA. You go to school over there, they'll teach you construction from A to Z. And then after you graduate and, whatever, they'll train you and everything, construction school, just come work with us. And I'm like, oh yeah, sounds great. So I went to the school and I'm like, well, if these dudes who barely speak English you know, they come over here and they're making all this big money and, you know, driving Lexuses and all this crazy shit. I said, I can beat those guys at that game.
Right.
Right.
You're already a better rider at that point.
Yeah, yeah. So I said, all right, cool. So I did it, and then I was following the dream of, you know, the movies, and then like, I don't know, like I went out and I like somehow sold like a full kitchen remodel, where my commission was like $5,000,
Right.
and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like,
Yeah.
no way. They actually bought the kitchen remodel, and
Yeah.
just from that one sale, I made $5,000, and I'm like, I gotta get in. I gotta pay attention.
Right.
So then I fully indulged myself in the construction, and then here we are. This is all 90% from construction.
90% construction, and
Yeah.
then
And
the
then
other 5 from
movies.
the mob. From the,
Movie.
the
mob. The movie mob. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Beautiful.
Yeah, the
All
movie
right.
mob.
So my second question was going to be, how did you get your start racing? We've already covered that. Okay.
That's how I started
Okay.
racing. Yeah.
Covered. My third question, like, why do you love privateers so much?
Well, that's a great question. It's because I never had the opportunity.
Okay.
So
You had the passion, but
I
at
had
that
the
time,
passion
it's too
and the
late.
talent,
Right.
but I never had the opportunity.
Got it.
So, and the only reason I say that is because now I'm like in my mid to late 50s, right? 57 this year, and I'm racing guys who were AMA pros,
Right.
who were Supercross main qualifiers,
Yeah.
and they're my age now,
Yeah.
and sometimes I beat them.
Age is the great equalizer, right?
Right. So I beat him.
Right.
I beat him without that experience. I beat him without had been an AMA pro.
Right.
So I know that if I had the opportunity, things would have been different.
Would have been a little different.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, one of my saddest things as a child growing up was that I didn't have that opportunity, being that I lived all over the world, being that I came from the Middle East, being that motocross and that was more of a Western English and European sport. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Motocross kind of stops at like Eastern Europe.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the Czechoslovakia and Yugoslavia and Germany and all that. It kind of stops there.
Right.
You don't see it go past that.
Right.
Right. So I never had I loved motorcycles, but I never had the opportunity.
Or
So
direction,
I
right,
always
some direction.
felt what a shame
Right.
that I didn't have that opportunity. So when I see privateers and you know, it's an expensive sport, especially now with 4 strokes.
Right.
Hence all
Absolutely.
2 strokes.
Yeah. I got
So people can't afford to ride a race.
Yeah.
These things blow up $200-300 to run in.
Right.
Those things blow up as $3,000.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You bet. And you know, perfect example. You know, your race is coming up this weekend.
Right.
I got a 125. That was my son's. My nephew Colton Eck wants to come ride, and we started on last Friday, and he's got a race.
Already ready to go.
Got a new crank.
2 days.
New top
nothing.
end,
Exactly.
Ready to go.
Ready to
Thing will
go.
be- thing
You
will
got a
kill
great
it.
shop, so you
Yeah.
know, great.
But it's just. But I mean, if that was a 4-stroke,
Oh no, forget it.
I mean, you could if you had unlimited budget.
Yeah, you still got to
Right?
send the head
That's
out.
what I'm saying,
The head's
yeah.
got to come right. You got to do
Yeah.
the valves. You got to do the seats.
Yeah.
Something's back ordered.
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah. So these
especially if it's a KTM.
Yeah, so these bikes, and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And we'll come over. We'll take a better look at especially this one. But I mean, what year? Like this bike is what year?
This is a 21.
21. Okay.
That's a 22.
22
That's a 23.
and a 23.
And the Twisted Development bike is a
I
19.
thought you told me 19.
And then I
Still
have
to-
another 19.
Yeah, still totally competitive.
Well, that's oh yeah. That's the Twisted
So I
Development.
mean,
build.
that's the benefit. A guy could go out and buy a 2-stroke, right? A 19, and
Yeah.
the thing still
and
rips.
beat a 450.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
things. The
I
things
beat
is-
plenty of 450s. Yeah.
No, that's killer.
And it's a quarter. It's like less than half the price,
Yeah.
right? You can get a used 150 in excellent condition for $5,000.
Now, and here's another thought I just had too, is that a guy could get a bike, he can train, he could ride Supercross, train for Supercross, and he can go and he can win the 250 main event. And how much is he going to make?
Nothing.
Yeah, maybe, what's the purse? I don't even know. I'm guessing, but I
Well,
think it's probably $1,500.
Yeah, it's nothing. I think AMA first place was like $3,000 or $5,000 or some bullshit.
And that's not even a realistic
yeah,
thing, but I'm just saying that.
Yeah,
so
but-
your race this weekend,
right.
Pasha 125 Open.
Yeah.
And we have another little surprise. for some of the guys out there.
Right.
The Pasha 125 Open, there's 2 125 classes, correct?
And
that the
250.
purse is that's
$2
a
grand
surprise.
each.
That's a surprise.
Yeah.
So you got 2 125 classes.
Yes.
$2 grand a piece.
$2 grand a piece, and this
So-
is a small race.
Yeah, this is a small race.
This is like oh, let's throw a race for the
Right.
summer
So the
series.
same
yeah.
guy that bought the 19
Yeah.
preps it. He's ripping. He's a good rider. He can show
Colton
up to
Egg.
your race
Yes.
and make more than if
Than
you
a national.
won a national
Right.
or a supercross.
Right, right. Now this is a small race.
Yeah.
World two-stroke.
Yeah.
It's $5,000.
Insane.
Right.
So I mean that's
Each
something where
class.
you're providing an opportunity for a guy to actually
Right.
be able to put something together.
Yes.
And go make some money. And what's your plan? I mean, how many
Okay, so
races do you want to do a year?
Here's
or-
how it is. Right now we have like I think it's 6 guaranteed races. I'd like to do like 8, but also they're quite expensive.
Yeah,
and it
I
depends
know.
like how business is and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that, right?
sure,
So back to the privateer thing, which is gonna go into the race thing. So the privateer thing was when I saw kids that had the passion and the love. Like I was there when Colton Egg was 18, and he won his first pro race at REM.
Yeah. Good
Were
time.
you there?
Yeah.
You were there that
no,
day?
I was
You were?
not.
His
no, I was
mom and
not-
dad were
I was
there.
not there that day.
He was
Yeah,
mom and dad
yeah.
was there. He was a little kid, dude,
Yeah,
and
he
he
was.
and he got first place in his first pro race at REM.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm like, holy shit, this kid fucking hauls ass, right? So instantly, and then so I became friends with your family, and I helped Colton for a couple years.
Yeah.
Right.
Along with so many other.
Yeah, and then
SoCal
he
preps.
actually, I still help him a little, and then he kind of veered off to off road. So I stayed with motocross, right?
Sure.
So what I realized, behind the scenes, helping a lot of riders, is that it takes first of all, it takes a village for someone to make it in motocross.
Sure.
One person can't do it. You need
Yeah.
you need the rider to have a mom, a dad, a mechanic.
Right.
They have to have money.
Right.
You can help.
Sure.
They have to not crash, not break down,
Yeah.
not get sick, make all the races,
I think
podium.
yeah.
It's almost like
And I think even at the track, there's mentors right at the track
Yeah.
that are like alongside them as well. Like
Yes, they have to
keeping
have
them on-
teachers.
keeping them on the
yes,
path. You
Pat,
know, like,
no
you know.
girlfriend, don't party,
Yeah,
go
there's
eat
all the-
right,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like it's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
and that's a lot to ask a teenager,
Sure.
right? It's a
absolutely.
lot, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
like, if I had to race for a living, I think I would hate it. But I'll go race every single weekend now because I don't have to.
Right.
But
So-
I swear to God, if I had to race for a living, I think I'd be like, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't want.
I know that's a tough go.
Yeah.
So we hinted at it. I think we let the cat out of the bag, and I know people know. I know there's information out there, but you added because you just weren't doing enough.
The 250.
You were like, I'm adding a 250 class.
Okay, so-
just so I give some of these other guys
Okay.
an opportunity to go.
The
up to mine.
250 class came from this. The 30 plus class was not as stacked as the pro class
Got it.
and the 50 class. The 50 plus class is amazingly packed.
That's crazy. And that won't be at this event, or will
Yeah,
it be?
yeah, it
Oh, it
is.
will be.
Yeah.
Okay. That 50
So
plus.
so what I did is we went 45 plus,
Right.
got rid of the 30 class.
Got it.
A couple of reasons. One, there weren't enough entries.
Right. A lot of those guys are still kind of chasing the
Yeah,
kinda,
the lower 30s are chasing the dream. The upper 30s quit riding.
right.
Right? So then you have the guys like my friend fireman Todd Gravitt. He's not 50.
Right.
He's in his late 40s.
Got it.
So he says he's ecstatic that we have a 45 plus because now he can race
Sure.
on the youngest level.
Right.
So I got rid of the 30 class. One, because it wasn't that stacked, and two, a lot of people message me, we don't have a 125.
Yeah.
We have 250s.
Sure.
Why don't you have a 250 class? Please, 250 class. We'll come. Oh, really?
So, yeah,
Okay.
so now
so
this-
let's see.
yeah, we're gonna see.
So we're a 250 class.
I like that.
Let's see who's gonna come. Yeah. So now we have a 250 class. So it's been going on now for I think 3 years now. About 3 years. So like we had Mike Brown started showing up, and Heft, and Collier, and Colton Egg, and Mike Alessi, and all the top local pros. McGrath, Moseman, yeah. Well, being said, Moseman, all of this I have to say right now is only possible because of motocross action.
Yeah. They actually put the word out.
Oh yeah. Without motocross action, this wouldn't exist.
It would be tough.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 99% motocross action,
Right.
and then 1% me and my friends. Yeah,
I
seriously.
think you're a little off.
Okay,
on that,
2%, 98%. Yeah, motocross. If Jody and motocross action wasn't behind it, man, I don't think it would have happened.
That's cool. And it's good that they have that passion.
Yeah.
You know, for sure, because I think two-stroke is like the everyman's bike.
Yeah.
You know,
Sounds
a guy
good
can,
too. Smells
you know,
good.
Yeah, it does. So there's something I see, like I look at your bikes,
Yeah.
and there might be a little something different.
Different, yeah.
On a lot of the bikes, but there's some things on these bikes that don't vary.
Right.
Number one, the Electron.
Yeah, the bones are exactly the same.
Okay.
And then based on sponsors and look, the few things change.
Right.
So all of my sponsors that I am incredibly thankful for, and they are real sponsors. They're not just like put a sticker in. They're like real deal. Like they invest. I build them. I build the bikes. Well, the reason I ended up with those sponsors is because I believed in their product myself before. So I used to buy it.
Right.
Then, as I escalated in fame or whatever you want to call it, the sponsors started reaching out and saying, "Hey, thanks for getting on the magazine. Thanks for the write-up. What do you need? Whatever you need, just give us a call."
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool."
So
I'm not the kind of guy that likes to ask for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So those partners, right? Because they're really partners because not
you
only
mean
are
the
they
race-
helping you,
yes.
but they're also you're giving people an opportunity. They're going to go to your race. They got some discount codes or coupon codes or
Yes,
things that they
yes,
can use to
yes.
utilize your sponsors, and these are products that you know
people use.
are killer.
I think are killer.
Right? These are winning races.
These are products that have won World Two Stroke, that have won World Vet.
Right. So,
Yeah.
can you kind of go through the ones that are on that list?
Yeah,
currently?
so I'm gonna try the best that I can remember, and I'll look at the bike that way. I'll remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So the product code for everyone out there is Pasha Racing, just straight Pasha Racing.
Easy.
No capital letters, no spaces, just Pasha Racing. So all the sponsors will give you a discount if you use the code Pasha Racing. Some are verbal over the phone. Some are codes you have to punch in on the computer when you buy something. As long as you remember that name or mention us, you'll get a deal from everybody.
Got it.
So when do you want me to go over the sponsor list?
Let's hear. So I know like a couple like the ones I know. Right
Yeah.
off
So
the bat.
let me start from the front so we don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay. So right here, first we have ASV levers, ASV Inventions. Right here, these badass levers.
And I a little commercial on my end. I have a shop and I sell.
Yes,
sell
TRE.
levers.
That's right.
And-
Jason here runs TRE.
But just saying, like those levers, they do not, unless it's an extreme circumstance,
They don't
do
break,
not deny a warranty
No,
either.
no. Oh no, they'll replace
I mean,
it for you.
they will back you up, and they go to a lot of races too.
Even if yes, they go to all the good big races. Even Bob Morales.
Yeah, awesome.
Even
Racing,
if
Sun races.
they fade,
Yeah,
because he doesn't want
he doesn't want that
ugly ASVs
product.
on anybody's
Yeah.
bike. He'll give it to you for free.
Yeah.
He'll replace it for you.
Yeah, that's a great
And then
product.
he also offers, like, if they come up with a new model, you'll give him your old ones. He'll give you the new model.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
they,
and you have a huge discount using the Pasha Racing code.
Yeah, no,
okay.
that's killer.
So ASV levers, for example, and then you go back. Of course, Rich Taylor's X-Brands.
X-brand goggles.
Can't beat that guy.
Right, no,
Rich
it's
Taylor,
goggles.
factory guy,
Again,
coolest dude.
a lot,
Local guy.
A lot of the big races, he'll be there.
Yeah.
Someone will be there supporting the product.
Yeah. So Rich Taylor's goggles
Right.
and everything else he's got, top of the line.
Right.
Then we move back to like a company called Fastway.
That's right. Yeah.
Fastway, check it out what they got. But
Yeah.
what's on this bike are these ankle saver Tomac
Right.
stay in business foot pegs.
Yeah, and I mean that's a part of their product line.
Yeah, that's
we sell
one.
everything from kickstands,
Yes.
foot pegs,
Yes.
spark arresters.
Yes.
I mean they got hand guards. They got all kinds of goodies.
Yeah,
but
and
those things
you can buy all of these sponsored stuff through TRE and Jason.
right, exactly. And if you mention
Right.
Pasha at my shop, you'll get a discount
Yeah,
too.
you get a discount too, right. So Fastway gives me these pegs. And then as we move back, we have Flow. I use the radiator guards.
Yeah.
And these radiator guards will save your radiator from a crash. 100%.
I have put those on bikes, and they make sense because they stick,
they're not
stick
heavy.
past the radiator on their
Yes.
side about that far.
Right.
So you fall over, and they actually work.
And they're not heavy.
No, they're light. They're killer product.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I use from Flow. The dude's connection there, his name is Bartosz. And I believe he's the owner. And then as we move back, then we have ZRT, which is zero resistant throttle. That
yeah.
you know who turned me on to them?
Who's that?
Your dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Wiley.
Yeah, Zach.
Yeah. Zach.
Yeah,
I call him Coyote.
I tried his, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, I don't want my throttle that good. But
Hey,
the kids
don't
do.
whiskey, dude.
The kids do.
Don't
but-
look at this thing.
Oh,
Dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
That thing's beautiful.
So he hooked me up with ZRT. I called, I ran their stuff, and then I became friends with the owner, and now we have a deal with them.
Yeah.
So
That's
so
killer.
far, everybody I say right now is Pasha
Yeah.
Racing got a deal.
Yeah.
So zero resistant throttle,
Right.
and then we move back, and of course, this is a crazy dream come true. We have FMF.
FMF, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Little D,
Yeah,
Donnie.
dude,
thing.
yeah. So there's a story between that. I don't know. I don't even want to say it because it could get because it involves a little thing with Pro Circuit too. But FMF came through.
All right.
Let's just say
Yeah,
that. Right.
exactly.
Now I'm FMF.
There
right.
you go.
Yeah. And then we have Dirt Tricks
Yeah.
sprockets.
Yeah.
The sprocket that absolutely will outlast your
Yeah.
bike.
2 chains at least, minimum.
More than that, even, dude.
Yeah,
especially on my level. Man, I'm not a pro.
We use
you know what I
those
mean?
at the GPs, right?
Yeah.
They're 45-minute races
Yeah.
at a time, and you're doing a couple races a weekend.
Yeah.
Those
They
are
last
lasting all
forever.
year. And
Yes.
and a cool thing, and I don't know if he's done this for you. Has he etched
Yes,
stuff
yeah.
on
Mine's
your
a Pasha
sprocket?
Racing. Yep.
So
Yep.
cool.
So you
Yeah.
you can order the Pasha Racing sprocket at a discount from Dirt Tricks.
Yeah. And you can put your number on
Yeah,
it or whatever.
you can
for a
put your
little
number, you
extra.
can put your house address if
Yeah.
you want. So
Yeah.
Dirt Tricks is another one. And then as we move back, the killer graphics are Throttle Syndicate.
Got it.
Brian and Travis over there are hooking me up with chrome. That's
Yeah.
the gas is chrome. This
I've
is
seen so
black
much
chrome.
stuff they've been doing lately. Like,
Yeah.
And
On AMA level pros
beautiful.
too, like Barsha and
yeah,
everybody,
it's beautiful.
Yeah. So then we move back to that, and then as we move backwards, we have Fast Company Flex handlebars.
I'm dying to try those. I've never
Dude,
tried
they're
them.
awesome.
Yeah, people
So-
swear by them, but I haven't
Yeah.
tried them.
Well, some people talk shit about them too, but because they flex.
Right.
But you have different bushings
They're
you
not
can put
old
in.
enough to appreciate
Exactly.
when
I'm
you
old,
hit a G
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
right?
it hurts. Yeah.
While you're
So you can change these little bushings, and you can have different. Rebounds and
right.
compressions.
So if you're not into your bars moving a lot, you can make them.
Right, or if you want to go off-roading gently, put
Yeah.
the yellow ones in. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? These are the red ones for motocross track, right? They're stiffest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
So Flex Bars supports me too, and those are Pasha Racing Flex Bars too, and they have a discount.
Sick.
Yeah, you can see it says Pasha
Yeah.
Racing on this side.
That's awesome.
All right, and then as we move back, Ride Engineering, Adrian over there.
yeah.
Well, Flex Bars is an old CRC guy. Come on, man.
And his kid races.
Cole Townsend.
Yeah, and his kid was
Yeah.
ripper.
And
Does he have 2 kids? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I
There's another guy coming. I think Parsons or something. He's coming to race my event from Flex Bars.
killer.
Yeah, he's going to ride Beerman's 125 YZ.
Nice.
That's a straight time steering.
Yeah, one thing I think every single one of these sponsors so far, at least the ones I know, they're all still involved. The guys are riding,
yeah, the guys
racing.
riding, yes,
They're not
yes.
spectators.
Right.
They're still out there doing it.
100%.
So their products are going to be something that you're going to utilize. They've already tested it. You're going to hop on, and you're going to get something that works. And
Yes.
obviously,
This-
it works for you.
These sponsors are currently involved on a daily basis with motocross.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Adrian at rides.
Yeah.
He's at Paris doing jumps himself.
100%.
Right.
Testing, yeah.
AME grips, even though this one is not an AME grip, but Bob Rutten is hooks me up with AME grips. As we move back, and then we have P3 Carbon.
Yeah, they make some sweet.
Makes some cool stuff,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
You could just take a stock bike and just throw that tank cover.
and you're like
couple guards.
factory. Yeah,
and,
dude.
Yeah,
So-
people are like, "Oh, your bike's sick."
Yeah, P3 Carbon has totally hooked me up with all. As you can see, all the bikes are carboned out.
Yeah, beautiful.
So they have a discount also, and they sell all sorts of carbon goodies, way more than what these bikes have, because they're also mostly an off-road company.
Got it,
So
yeah.
you can get pipe guards, skid plates, every
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
plate
and
you can
and,
get.
and
Yeah.
mounting it myself too, like
No, easy. Primo.
Perfect.
Holes are perfect.
Yeah,
like they go
everything's
in the right place, and it's carbon fiber. It weighs nothing.
yeah. And a side note, because I have a shop,
Yeah.
we did have one product that I got for a guy that was kind of an old timer, and he went to bolt the skid plate on, and it didn't match. I mean, like exact. He probably could have taken a file and filed it 3 times and it fit.
Yeah. But
Called
he
the
did.
guy. I said, hey, it's an old timer. And the guy's just like, I got you. Sent another one to me.
Yeah.
Before I ever sent the other one back.
Yeah.
Didn't ask a question.
P3?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, I've never had that ever happen.
Right.
But like there was an issue and it was like, boom.
Well, right now, you
handled
don't
it,
want any
you know what I mean?
bad blood out there, man. In the internet, everybody will hear about it in 2 seconds. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
but I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this for so long, and when somebody, you know, in the rare occasion there's an issue, but they just handle it.
Right.
It's like that's who you want to deal with. Right?
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, you don't want to
So
deal with
far,
people that, you know.
all of these guys I've mentioned are pretty much like that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I think I've dealt with
Yeah.
everyone.
I mean, if they're helping me, they must be cool. Because why would they help me? You know what? I'm not.
Come on,
I'm not.
Pasha.
No, come on, man. I'm not
Come
like
on.
James Stewart or something, man. I mean, I'm just like a fat old man, dude. So like, if they help me, that means they're cool. So and then I talked about FMF, and then as we come back more, we have P3, and then as we come back more, Langston Motorsports. So there's a bunch of dealerships that help me out, and the reason it's kind of odd to have multiple dealerships is because they're in different locations.
Sure.
So like if I'm in Orange County, it's Three Brothers, and they have a deal.
Sure.
So if I'm down like Murrieta or Temecula, it's AEO.
Right. So you were able to ask somebody where you're from.
Right, and then and I have friends with it. So like my friends work at AEO.
Right.
So they bring the parts to Glen Helen.
Yeah, you can't,
Right. You can't beat that.
No.
Right.
And they stock.
Right, and then I have friends who live in Orange County.
Along with Three Bros.
Right. Well, if they don't have it, they have it.
Yeah.
Right. So like, if I call Three Brothers and say I want this bolt, and they don't have it, I say, does AEO have it?
Right.
Yes. Then I tell the AEO guy, hey, can you bring it to Glen Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So and then Jeremy at AEO and Mark from REP Suspension, those guys are awesome, man.
Yeah.
Jeremy hooked me up over there. I'm like, I get a better deal than like a dealer. You know what I mean? Yeah. So AEO over there. Orange County, it's Three Brothers, and then when you come up north in our way, it's Ken and Joe's over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Chris Valdez
yes,
over there.
Chris
and then
over
Dave,
there,
the
and
owner,
Dave, all of them. Yeah,
and they're a good stocking shop. Like they stock parts.
They got a big
like
showroom
Three Bros.
too
That's
for
one thing
bike stuff.
that's one thing that they see all these shops have in common.
Yeah.
They're all stocking dealers.
Yeah, the closest dealer until that other one opened up was Ken and Joe. So a lot of these like gear bags and all the most like the knick-knack stuff's all from Ken and Joe's because they're local.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the other dealer is Ken and Joe's Three and Simi Valley Cycles. Even though they're not a KTM company, I have to say thanks to Dwayne.
Gary.
He has taken care of me for years.
Yeah.
I was a Yamaha guy before KTM.
Yeah.
I still buy oil, helmets, gear, handle, whatever knick-knack stuff you need from Dwayne.
Yeah.
So Simi Valley Cycles is definitely rooted in the motocross.
Right. Yeah, and you go to
community.
the races around here, and you hear those names, and you know every one of them. Right?
Exactly. So those are the dealers that help me. And then as we move back further on the bike, we have we finally reached the clutch area, and I'm totally Recluse has got my back. And I run in most of the bikes. I have a torque drive.
Yeah.
And then in the 1300, I have a automatic XE. So that one's the automatic.
Yeah.
Because it's a 300.
Right.
It'll pull.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
And then these are all torque drives.
Right.
And I get a super deal there. And if you use the Pasha Racing code, you can get that too.
And those are the real deal.
Those are the real deal.
I mean, the way
Better
they have
than stock.
the way
I mean,
they have the pressure plate, and
Yes.
the way it holds the spring straight,
and more pressure.
Yeah.
And more discs.
Yeah, and you can actually feel it. Like you're like, okay,
It's tight.
Yeah, it's
yes.
tight.
And you
hooks
get
up.
more power to the ground.
Yeah,
And
100%.
less when you give it gas. It boom, you're gone. Yeah. So then we have Recluse in here, and then as we move back now, we got to Moto Tasserini V-Force.
Yeah. Goes without saying.
Yeah.
Like
so
every
V-Force
two-stroke,
R. Yeah.
you need
So
it.
I'm running a Moto Tasserini V-Force from the Tasserini Tassinari. Let's say the
Tassinari.
name right.
Tassinari,
Yeah. So long I've said Tasserini wrong.
It's all
Tassinari.
right.
Sorry about that.
all right.
So and then we move back to the Moto, and then of course the Billatron Electron.
Yeah, and you've been
Yeah, I've been
on this
for a
train
long, yes.
for a long time.
Yes, and I have dialed it in like a Rolex.
Yeah, and
So-
I came here tonight to pick up Electron.
Yes.
from Pasha.
because I became an Electron dealer because I
Yes.
believe in the product so
Yes.
much. Yeah.
Yes.
So
So-
the Electron Billatron is the one I run, and my bikes run hard and no issues.
And I know
so.
something that you were kind of offering too, because they're not exactly local, correct?
No, they're not local,
So-
and they are a little bit hard to understand the carburation state of mind.
Yeah.
Because it's the opposite of a jetted carburetor.
Right. So if you were to sell a carb, or I was to sell a carb,
It's going to take
And-
the
and
guy
you're-
a while to figure it
yeah.
out.
But if you're at Glen
Oh, no, I
Helen,
see
you're
it.
like, hey, if I'm there,
Yeah.
come on over.
I
I'll
even
give
say when
the-
you
give
buy
the
it,
lowdown.
I'll help you jet it. Just come to Glenn.
Right.
And in
Figure it
10
out.
minutes, it's
Right.
spot
But I know
on.
before you settled on Electron,
Yeah.
you know,
We tried everything.
stock carbs,
Modified carbs, board carbs,
you know,
Keyens,
like
Mikunis,
this,
all of
Mikuni,
that. Yeah.
And now Electron, and you're not in. That's one thing I know about you, and I can look at your bike. You look at any of your bikes. You just want what's best.
What's the best, right?
It's not like what can I get it for?
No.
It's like what's the best product?
I believe that's the best product, and my bikes have won World Two Strokes, World Vet,
Right.
top pro races
Yeah.
with top guys.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, Colton Egg won World Two Stroke on this bike.
Right. Yeah.
That's the bike he rode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not that one, not that one. This one. That's the one called
This is the
Colton.
retirement bike.
This is the retired bike.
This
Yeah,
one's
it's got
gonna
120 hours of war.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then of course Billatron, and I really love the company, and I love, they all ride, they're all cool, they're from Bourne, Texas.
Yeah.
So I run the Billatron, and I'm a dealer. So if you want, well, you're almost a dealer too. You're
Yeah.
kind of a dealer
But
to
I-
me.
but
So if
I'm
you want a
ca- but I-
carburetor, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But that's
Yeah.
why I'm here. We built the bike.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're throwing that bad girl on there. We're going to
Yeah.
see what we got.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to mess with jets, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And if you have a 150,
that's the ticket.
jetting a 150 is tough.
Tougher
'Cause
than
it
a
changes
125.
wherever you
Tougher
go.
than a 125.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Colton won World Two Stroke on a Billatron.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So and then we have the rear shock on this bike on 2 or 3 of the bikes. It's Ron Schuler, which is ESR suspension. Ron Schuler's dad is Earl Schuler Racing,
Okay.
ESR. That's what I run for the shock. On the gas, I'm sponsored by Coppersmith, which is Olin's.
Yeah.
So all the forks on all the bikes are A-Kit Olin's.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't tell
They-
because they're covered.
I know. They're beautiful.
Yeah, but they're
like
A-Kit
when you
Olin's.
see 'em.
Yeah, they're all A-Kit. So
Yeah.
all these bikes have A-Kit Olin's on the front, and then 3 out of 10, 9 out of 10 of the bikes have ESR, and then the 300 has also an A-Kit Olin's, which is being revalved right now by Nolene. So Clark Jones, because he's an Olin's guy.
He's an
yeah.
Olin's guy.
He's an everything
So
guy.
Olin's
That guy's
guy,
a
yeah.
genius, man. Yeah.
Now, okay, and now we got to put the power to the ground.
Yeah, so-
these bikes have horsepower.
Yes. Oh, so we have Guts. I gotta say hello to Andy.
Yeah.
Andy at Guts has hooked us up.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Love Andy.
Yeah.
Made friends with his mom at
Hey,
Hangtown.
Yeah, and those want to talk about durable?
And good looking.
Yeah, they're durable, man.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
hold
Durable, good looking. They come with bumps, without bumps, wide, thin, narrow. I mean,
Yeah.
different color choices.
Yeah.
Guts is the way to go.
Yeah.
And then moving back, we have the FMF pipe. My Cerakoting is done by a guy called Kick Coating.
Kick-ass?
Kick-ass coatings. Yeah, it's Barrett Kick. He did most. I know you did a few pieces for me too.
Silencer, right?
Yeah,
there,
but most of the bike
Yeah.
was done by Kick-Ass Coating, which is Barrett Kick. And then we move back, we have TM Design chain guards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah.
They'll outlast your bike.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never seen an old, I mean,
Yeah.
they fade and they might get ugly,
Yeah.
but I've never wore one out.
Yeah, and
ever.
side note, if you have a KX450,
Uh-huh.
you
Oh,
have to have that.
Well, because
The stock
the bearing
chain guy
is just
wears
junk.
out in
yeah,
like 4
like,
rides.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and falls off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got my ride engineering, knuckle and triple clamp. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, knuckle and pull rod. And then the fastway pegs. And then we move back.
How are we gonna hook up?
Hook up. We're going to hook up with W wheels,
Got it.
Okay.
John, Kristen, like
of course.
rock stars.
Yes. And Tom White was the man.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah, and we actually, being such long time REM guys,
Oh yeah.
Remember when Tom was announcing?
Oh yeah, I
It was
parked
the
next to
glory
him
days. It was
all
so
the time.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
It
I
was-
parked next to Tom. John Ortner has done a painting of me and Tom of a picture that he took with Tom with me.
Yeah,
So
cool.
then we did a painting on it. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to get done.
Total legend.
Yeah, John Ortner. So Ortner Art. So I run the Kite hubs because Kite uses stock spacers.
Got it.
The other hubs use their spacers. I just want to stick with stock spacers.
Right.
I don't. So I run Kite hubs, and then these are the custom wheels that they make, and W gives you a deal also.
Yeah.
Okay. And then tires.
Tires.
That's the good one, and that's Hoosier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our buddy
Rusty. Hall.
Rusty.
Rusty.
Yeah.
And Rusty will be at the race this Saturday.
Yeah.
He's coming.
Yeah.
I just talked to him. He's actually parking the truck at Glen Helen
Is he?
as we're filming.
Yeah.
So Rusty, the Rusty Holland.
Yeah.
You know, factory Rusty. I call him Rust-Oleum. Rusty hooked me up with Hoosiers. Well, before I was hooked up with Hoosiers, Colton ran Hoosiers. Brock Shoemaker ran Hoosiers.
Yeah.
A lot of, remember when it first
Yeah.
came out?
And if you want to try Hoosiers, the rear tire is amazing.
Yes.
But if you want to be blown away,
They have a
put
new-
put a front tire on your bike.
They have a new front tire.
They're unreal.
Yeah.
And they last a long time.
This is the new front tire.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, yeah. This is the new front tire. The thing with the Hoosiers is, I buy the 30 compound, which is the
And when I
hardest.
said they last, just the front for me.
Yeah,
The back?
No, hold on. I got the back to last.
Did you?
Yeah.
I know, but when I say it's,
Let me
they
tell you how it
hook
lasts.
up
Let me tell you how it
like
lasts.
Insane.
Before it wasn't. Before I was blowing through them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's because of air pressure.
Got it.
Right. So if you run more air pressure, it lasts longer.
And it still hooks up.
And it hooks up better with more air pressure. When you have less than 14 pounds in the back, the knobs fold because they're soft.
Got it.
So when you have 14 pounds and
Yeah, so
over,
you'll crack them at the base if they're like, if you're running low
yeah,
pressure.
I mean, go look at the back of the 300.
Right.
You just brought me a brand new rims with tires on
yeah,
them.
yeah.
The tire on that bike that you took off, it looks still good.
Wow.
But I want Moseman to race with new tires.
Yeah, of course. Right, yeah.
So if you run more air pressure, not because to make it last, Hoosiers are soft carcass, very soft.
Right.
So 12 pounds on a Hoosier is like 9 on a Dama. So I run 14
Yeah.
and
Got it.
glue,
So-
Velcro. And then Hoosier also has the Pasha Racing deal.
Got it.
Our deal is cheaper than their deal. That means they have a deal, and then my deal is even cheaper than that with Hoosier. Yeah.
And
And I probably missed a million other sponsors.
we're gonna, this isn't going to be our last interview. So I'm going to give you. I want to talk to you after a few of these races.
Oh,
too.
sure, yeah.
And I want to get some feedback. Now, I know that we've been talking about the bike quite a bit, but in order for Pasha to do what he does, to provide bikes to a bunch of guys at the races, to provide these purses, all that, he has to partner with companies. And I wanted to give him an opportunity to talk about
Sure.
some of these guys, because that's what makes big races happen,
Yes.
is that type of collaboration.
Yes.
Because, like you said, it takes a village, right? It takes
takes a
everybody
village,
to
yes.
make stuff happen.
Right.
And if we're not recognizing those people that are investing in your program,
Right.
right,
It's not
then
fair.
how
it's not
can
even
we
fair
have
anyway.
these
You got
events?
it.
And we're
Yes.
talking about,
Yes.
you're saying you want to have more events.
Yes.
Conceivably, some guy could just set him up a two-stroke and just hit your races
100%.
and make some pretty good money.
Kurt
racing.
Nichols said, because he's been winning a lot, Kurt Nichols said, my God, if you hold these races all day, I'll just make a living back racing again. Because he's made a lot of money. Man. Doug Dubach made a few bucks,
Yeah.
you know. Mike Alessi's made a lot.
Yeah, he
won most.
He made some from ESR, right, or something. Was it ESR?
He made 40 grand that day.
Yeah,
altogether.
that one day,
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, he
Okay.
raced the big ones, right? And he got like 2,500 first place, like in 2 different classes.
Yeah.
So he got 5 grand there.
Yeah.
And then he got like he ran an ESR 300. He got like 10 grand there.
Yeah.
Then he ran this other thing. He got another 10 grand there, and it's like he made like 40 grand
Yeah.
as a retired motocross guy.
Yeah.
In his
Yeah.
30s.
Some people will have
at
not
a
made
local
that
rate.
in their entire
6
career,
months.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah.
When I kind of switched over, when I realized how hard it is for someone to qualify for a main, let alone come top 10.
Right. And how good the guys
It's
are that
very
aren't
hard.
qualifying.
Yes. So the guys that are sitting on the couch thinking that the dead last place guy that didn't qualify for the night show, not even the night show, like didn't even qualify for the night show, and makes it around the Supercross track, that guy on a local track will smoke everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've seen it.
That
For
guy
sure,
will
trust me.
smoke your ass, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then but he won't even make it to the night show.
Yeah. No,
right?
it's a tough go.
Right. So I
Yeah.
thought, well, if we're spending that much money, like one year I was helping Brock Shoemaker out, and you might remember he went out and I think he cased the jump and broke both his wrists or something like that.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
everything stopped.
Yeah. Everything that's invested, all the time, all the energy, all the
everything
money.
stopped.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
like, wait a minute, man.
Yeah.
No, we don't have a rider anymore, right? You know what I mean? I'm like, we
It's-
spent tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
He worked out, gym,
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
And it just ended in a second.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, what can we do? So I still helped out on a smaller level, like the guys that I help
Right.
out a little bit.
Right.
And then I focused on racing to make money.
Yeah.
So I thought, if you're going to if you're going to spend $20,000 on a bike,
Yeah.
and the dude breaks his ankle,
Yeah.
and it sits. So take that $20,000, split it into 3 or 4 races, hold series,
Yeah.
and have 12 guys at the podium make money.
Yeah. I love it.
And then everybody's
Yeah.
happy.
We're gonna sit down at one time. We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about one of my rants that I have about moto,
Yeah.
and it has a lot to do with the money that's paid out and just some.
I don't know how they
So-
expect you to
so-
race when they give you $300. Like,
I would be a big purse somewhere, $300.
no, it's like 15th, 20th place gets $300.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The-
Oh,
the
I'm talking
20th
even
place.
yeah.
No, the 20th place is a guy who drove there in his Toyota,
Yeah.
slept in his Toyota,
Yeah, yeah.
drove across country,
Yeah.
and you gave him 2 gas tanks,
No, it's insane.
like
It's
2 full
insane.
tanks, and there's your $300. So it's absolute. It's I hate
Yeah.
the business of
Yeah. Well,
dirt bikes.
but
you know what I
we
mean?
are looking forward to this weekend.
Awesome, yep.
It's going to be killer.
Yep.
I know that if anybody's thinking about doing it, there is a couple heavy hitters that aren't going to be able to make it.
Right.
So there is more.
There is more chance.
More
I
chance.
talked to Pete Murray today, and
Yeah.
he's we call him Grandpa Murray.
Yeah.
Doug Dubach, Kurt Nickel, Mike Brown, they're racing in England at the
Right.
World, the Vet the Nations.
Yeah, yeah.
So they are the regular winners.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we are down to not them.
Yeah.
For that class.
Sure.
For the fast class, Mike Alessi's still coming out. Moseman is there.
Yeah.
Collier and them. So the open pro class will be stacked.
It'll be stacked. Yeah.
And then the 250 class will be interesting because when's the last time anybody made money racing a 252 stroke?
It's been a long time. It's probably unless you were involved. I don't know.
No. This is my first 250 race.
No, just saying.
When's the last time anybody raced a
So,
250?
it's
So all the
insane.
250 guys are coming,
Yeah.
but I don't know who the
Yeah.
fast guys are. Yeah. Well, Mike Alessi's going to race a 300.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Collier's probably going to race my gas.
Yeah. And yeah, he's
And that's it. Moseman's going to race a motocross actions 300.
And if you, I mean, I don't know. I
Preston
don't always
Tilford's
know,
gonna ride
yeah, depending
a 300.
on, who's there and whatever. But just watch Sean Collier ride.
It's
ride
awesome,
it. I don't care
Yeah.
what place he's in.
It's
And
good.
I mean, it depends on how he's feeling or whatever.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah.
shock everybody.
Oh yeah.
Or you could just watch him. And
Yeah.
If
that
I
crazy?
could look like that on a dirt bike,
Isn't
I would
that
just
crazy,
take a
dude?
video of myself.
Yeah.
And that would be it. I just quit. I just
Yeah, me and Sean,
dispersed that thing.
he was racing on the team, and we went to Hangtown one year, and I think it was like 2011 or 12, and he was running 13th at Hangtown. Not practicing really. He had some kind of a infection too, like a bacterial blood infection or something.
Yeah.
He was running 13th in front of the guy retired, Mr. Australia, 22.
Oh, Chad Reed.
Chad. He was in front of Chad Reed for like 40 minutes of the 45 minutes, and then the anchor
Yeah.
came out the last
Yeah.
2 laps. Yeah, and I think he ended up like 16th or 17th.
Which
but
is still.
yeah, and he's like not
People,
even.
yeah, people ride nationals their whole life trying to get 20.
can't
for
even
a
get
point.
there yet. And
Yeah.
Collier comes out of nowhere on
Yeah.
almost a stock bike. and is running 13.
All right.
So,
So I'm gonna wrap this up,
yeah.
but I do have a final question. All right. If you're in a burning building, building is burning down.
I'm in it?
No, you're not in it.
Oh, I'm
but
outside.
you get to make a choice on who gets saved. You got one of your 125, this 125,
Any 125 or this one?
this one,
This one.
or a privateer.
You mean the human being?
Who do you save?
You mean the person?
Yeah.
The human?
Yeah.
Well, obviously the human, man.
All right. I just checking. I was just checking.
Come on, man. See, man, I can build this.
No, this guy.
I thought you
this
meant
guy
a
loves two strokes.
I thought you meant a privateer's bike. I'm like,
No,
leave that
no,
shit
no.
in there. I'm pulling this
no,
out.
I know. I was just teasing.
Oh,
but
no, man.
We
Yeah,
know
yeah,
you
yeah.
love two strokes and you
Oh,
love
yeah,
your
yeah,
privateer. So I just was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
checking.
No,
to
no, no.
see.
The guy's got to come out, man. I'd even take the dog out before my bike. You know what I mean? I couldn't live with myself.
Hey, Pasha, appreciate
man.
the time.
Right on, dude. Thank you very
I'm going to
much,
take a
man.
couple photos of the
Yeah.
bike. I'm going to post those on Instagram. Thanks for spending a little time talking to us.
For sure,
And
man.
thank you guys out there for joining us.
Yep.
And have a good night.
Yep.
Peace.
Thanks for watching, man.